Nvidia stock was one of the few stocks green today. I don't believe there were many. Even though it was only up 0.35%, I will take the green today. Now, the main reason is there were three bullish news impacting the stock today. The first thing is we did see that Nvidia finished an acquisition of a very interesting software company. Next, we're going to see how the robotics market is really getting some momentum in the current AI space. And finally, we do hear reports that a customer of Nvidia is expecting to spend even more and more money on this giant. So let's take a closer look. But before we go any further, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for a special offer at fool.com/Jose, and check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechip.happened.com. Also, I am doing a live stream every day at 8:30 a.m. If you can't make it tomorrow, just comment on the post here and let me know some of the questions you want me to answer. So let's get started.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so like I mentioned, Nvidia today was one of the few stocks that was green. At one point, the stock was sitting at almost $140. We did see $140 for some time. Maybe tomorrow, the last trading day, we get some nice momentum. But overall, I want to say Nvidia is finishing the year strong, up 185%. Now, one of the reasons the stock was up today is we did get reports that RunAI joins Nvidia. A new chapter begins. And this was about a $700 million acquisition that Nvidia announced in April of 2024. So RunAI, their overall solution is to help AI computing resources be used more efficiently. So RunAI enables enterprise customers to manage and optimize their compute infrastructure, whether on-premise, in the cloud, or in hybrid environments. So the easiest and the top level overview to understand RunAI is normally you have all these thousands and thousands of GPUs in these huge superclusters. And sometimes they're doing something and sometimes they're not doing something. But instead, if you kind of have this kind of orchestration software, this leader that helps you dictate, hey, look, and schedule things a little bit better, making your GPUs more efficient at doing certain workloads at certain times, it's going to kind of give you better return on investment in your GPUs. So at the end of the day, NVIDIA purchasing RunAI is, in my opinion, to help increase or improve the total cost of ownership of having an NVIDIA GPU, because with solutions like RunAI, you will be able to make those what you would call kind of like a workforce. At the end of the day, an NVIDIA GPU is kind of a workforce talent. Make that workforce be more effective and do more tasks on a timely matter. So RunAI is promising that they're going to continue to stay open source. So it doesn't matter what GPU or what product you're using, RunAI is going to try to help. At the moment, it seems like they're really only currently supporting NVIDIA GPUs, and they will kind of extend it to other ecosystems as well by creating an open source solution there. So overall, in my opinion, this is a nice win for NVIDIA. It's not something that we will see kind of really... Yes, in yesterday's episode, I did an episode where I described the moats of NVIDIA. This is one of those solutions that can help improve those moats. It's not going to be an individual moat, but it's just a way that NVIDIA continues to strengthen its moat from other players. The second one comes here from X, and we did get an X post from Jim Fan, and Dr. Jim is a senior research manager and co-founder of Gear Labs, and is the lead of Project Groot at NVIDIA, right? For those that are not familiar, Project Groot is kind of their humanoid robotics market. And Dr. Jim, he's been very bullish about the robotics market, but the way he's talking right now, it seems 2025 is going to be amazing for the robotic space. We can see from this quote from this post, he mentions that it gives him a lot of comfort knowing that we are the last generation without advanced robots everywhere. Our children will grow up as a robot natives, very similar to some of us became the first phone native generation. They will have humanoid cooks. In my opinion, I can't wait to buy a humanoid cook robot that can cook me dinner, a robot teddy bear tells bedtime stories, a little bit freaky, and FSD drives the kids to school and home. FSD, I use it on a daily basis, and I think it's amazing, but I would still want to take my kid everywhere, right? We are the generation of robot immigrants en route to a new world of ubiquitous physical AI, much like our parents are digital immigrants, learning to realign their lives on 6 inches of touchscreen. It's a journey of both inventing sci-fi tech and reinventing ourselves. Everything that moves will be autonomous. Every year from now on will be the year of robotics. So obviously, invest kind of usually an engineer in a specific field would be very bullish in whatever they're working on. But I want to say, I think where the market is going and the kind of technology we're seeing, robotics is definitely going to be an interesting play. I don't know if in 2025, but I want to say by at least 2027, we are going to get some great robotics solutions. Maybe some expensive ones, but some that we're going to start to see enter the market eventually. Maybe might come here earlier than expected. Dr. Jim Fan believes that is going to be the case. So that was pretty bullish. At the same time, we also saw an article from Financial Times kind of mentioned that Nvidia is expected to release their next compact computer for humanoid robots dubbed Jetson Thor in the first half of 2025. Now, if you're not familiar with Nvidia, they have a huge full stack solution for the humanoid robotics market. So in the humanoid robotics market, I think the first thing you really need to have is kind of like a huge foundational model. And that foundational model is here, Groot foundational model, which is normally trained on NVIDIA's DGX, which is kind of their hardware for the infrastructure space in data centers. This is where you kind of have like your H100s and all these big players. Within there, NVIDIA also has a lot of software, a lot of enterprise, a lot of AI solutions that you can use. So a lot of software stacks within there. Then you have kind of the ISIC lab, which is kind of a simulation of data points that you can use to train the humanoid robots. And you can kind of use the OVX. The OVX is just another supercomputer. I believe this one uses like the L40, the L40S. It doesn't necessarily need to use the best of the best AI chip because it can use kind of like those weaker down versions. And that's why NVIDIA has those other products as well. Then you kind of have the Groot stack, and this is what's going to be running within the actual humanoid robot itself. And this is powered usually by some form of edge computing. And right now, we can see from this keynote, they mentioned that would be Jetson Thor. And Jetson Thor is already used by a lot of humanoid robotics company right now. But we can see in this quick image, this is a humanoid robot. The head has a brain, and then kind of the central system has a brain as well. And that's where you will kind of see these solutions of Jetson Thor. So these are kind of the same solutions that NVIDIA uses to power kind of autonomous driving solutions, because at the end of the day, autonomous robot is still an autonomous car. Is just a form of an autonomous robot, right? We're going to have humanoid robots. We're going to have vehicle robots. We're going to have drone robots. And within the next few years, I think we're going to see a huge, huge market for them. So NVIDIA is providing this whole software, full stack from software, from infrastructure, from hardware at the edge, from hardware at the actual component itself, from simulations, and the list goes on. So if this market is going to win, this could be another huge driver for NVIDIA. The final news we have here is there are reports that ByteDance plans to spend about $7 billion on Nvidia chips in 2025. I mean, it's crazy. That's just one company. Then you have companies like XAI spending multi-billion dollars. You have Microsoft spending multi-billion. You have Amazon spending multi-billion. And we can see how this company can really get 100 plus billions of dollars in revenue in just 1 year, just from selected companies. And then when you have kind of individual enterprises also entering the AI market, you have all these kind of AI infrastructure players also being built. Right now, I think it's definitely pretty bullish time for NVIDIA. And yesterday's episode, I talked about how they have such a strong moat. I think that's going to continue. So these are the three bullish cases that came out for NVIDIA today. In my opinion, my favorite one was the robotic space. And just because it gets me more excited of some companies to start to look at in the robotics market. So that's probably my favorite news. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.